And welcome back. You're listening to Hysteria, the podcast that's kind of like Sour Patch Kids. Sour, then sweet, but always the red one somehow also. I don't know what that means. Naomi, kick us off.
Well, I'm going to tell you I'm petty. You know I'm never sane, but I'm always petty. So let me tell you what happened last week, y'all. My iPhone died out of nowhere. Literally, like, I had plugged it in. I took a nap. I wake up from my nap. My phone said, I'm going to die in my sleep. Will not come on. I lost my wedding photos, like all the pictures I took from wedding stuff. Pictures of my recently deceased cat son, Prembly, from the last 4 years. I mean, the Netflix half hour. Like, I had a lot on that phone. So this is what I feel petty about, though. So I'm walking into and I do everything I can to try to fix it, of course. Then I go to the genius bar. First of all, you ain't a genius. You're basic. So that's the sign, because they don't know nothing. Because that man did the same shit I did. And then he said, it don't work. And I said, sir, you don't have another plan? But let me tell you what's making me sick. At every turn, people keep asking me, did you save it to the cloud? Were you backed up to the cloud? Were you backed up to the cloud? If I was backed up to the cloud, I wouldn't be at a 10, okay? Stop asking me if I'm backed up to the cloud. If it had been in the cloud, I'd be on a cloud, okay? But I'm here. I'm on Earth. I'm not on the cloud. I don't have my things, okay? We all talk about AI, and we talk about corporate reach, and we talk about a surveillance state. Have you all been backing up to the cloud and not telling me? I didn't know we were backing up to the cloud. I didn't know we said, Google, take my life. I didn't know we said, Apple, take a bite. I'm mad at all y'all telling me to back up to the damn cloud. I'm done.
Oh, my God.
I
feel bad laughing at that because it is so awful that happened, but you're talking about it in a way that is so funny. Wow. Yeah. You should be a comedian.
That's my brand, Erin.
Naomi, I'm guessing you never saw the episode of Sex and the City, the original series, where Carrie loses everything because it wasn't backed up to the cloud.
Yeah, she does. And she's like,
she does. She goes to
know everybody, were people backing things up?
Circa 04.
Oh my God, am I Black Carrie Bradshaw? I had no idea.
Yes, you are.
You might be.
You are.
Maybe she just didn't back it up. It wasn't about the cloud. I think she may just not have backed it up.
But it was also, it was her laptop, right?
It was her laptop.
I back up my laptop. I back up my laptop. It's specifically my phone. I didn't realize we were putting all that stuff somewhere else, right? Like, I engage in laptop care. I didn't know the phone was to the cloud. And I don't even know now what the cloud is. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. And I just feel like the way everybody said that to me, matter of fact. And I said, don't you victim blame right now.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, that is an extremely petty, but I get it. I think we all get it.
We all relate.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Alyssa, you want to go next?
Okay, you guys. So obviously months ago, I watched the Bama Rush doc, which was not very good, but it made me curious. And so on TikTok and Instagram, I've been following Bama Rush right now. And let me tell you, there was so much that was not included in that documentary. Couple things. So I'm petty because what has happened to college since I left it 20-some years ago? 25 years ago at this point at least. Like, what are these dorm rooms these girls are sleeping? These are posh. You guys, these are not two bunk beds on top of each other. This isn't buying a loft in the quad of your dorm so that you can hoist yourself in the air and have your desk and mini fridge underneath. Absolutely. This is crazy. Mm-hmm. Also, what is the pants store? Where did tapestries go? Why is David Yurman making a comeback? Like, I have nothing. I have my share of David Yurman. But these girls are decked out in David Yurman from head to toe.
Their
are
shoes
coastal
and
grandmas
shorts at age 18.
Yeah.
It is,
but not. You know what I mean? Like, there is so much happening. And I was like, I listen to the Grateful Dead channel, and it's like, on this day in Grateful Dead history. Well, these girls do OOTD on this day of like what they're wearing for their for Philanthropy Day and all this stuff. It is so far out of my realm of comprehension as a, like a hippie. I'm a hippie for all intents and purposes. But like, honestly, it is the dorm rooms that have blown my brain. Now, Caroline, our producer, when I mentioned this to her, she was like, oh, Alyssa, they have like transitional housing when they're rushing. They live in other places. That may be true in some, but I've seen some dorm rooms. The dorm rooms look like West Elm. They look like room and board. And it's just, it's not giving old steamer trunk and plastic crates where we keep our, like old milk crates where we keep our microwavable oatmeal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a very different aesthetic now.
That is
No, I saw a dorm room that was featured on Apartment Therapy, and I was like, what the fuck is
Like, what is happening?
How
I was
dare
like,
you?
this is how
And
dare
also,
you?
how even if they themselves have invested in all this stuff for their dorm room, like if these like big beds they had made that look like, I don't even know, like actual furniture, well, like they don't even know that it's going to work for them in their next, like they're basically spending money not knowing if it's going to be able to be in their next room or whatever. It just seems like such an absurd waste of money, and I feel like they're lacking real character. They're not building. They're not building the character that one builds as a freshman. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the whole point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you out the house, you broke, you uncomfortable, you living with a person you never
Yes.
met who might be insane. And
Yep.
at best, honey, you've got threshold sheets from Target. That's the best
Yes.
you're doing, a
That is
threshold.
exactly
my threshold
Yeah.
a bed
sheets
and a
for
bag.
All 4 years. All 4 years I kept my
Yes,
threshold sheets.
same with me. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
extra long.
Oh, also Caroline wants us to know a lot of it is sponsored. Okay, still.
What? That's
That
even worse.
is-
I don't know.
Okay.
If someone doesn't show me a tapestry, then I got nothing.
Oh my God. I went to college with girls like that, even though there were no sororities at my school, but like people who came in with a whole like building crew to like to build their lofted beds. I remember
Yes.
being like, oh, is that?
Wow.
Yeah, like a crew. And they had like this whole plan. And I was like, wow, I did not understand the assignment.
insane.
Yeah, it's really insane. One thing that I'm going to say, this is like a petty tag along to that, is these girls are like wearing so many David Yurman pieces, like thousands
so
of
much.
dollars worth of jewelry. Which,
I'm
like,
Googling
cool.
David Yurman because I don't even
It's
know
ugly.
what's happening.
It's
It-
ugly.
It's very
Jewelry.
early 2000s. I'm not.
Yeah.
Look, I have a fair amount, but
Okay.
it's very early
I
2000s.
see.
my mom has a lot. My sisters have a lot. My older sisters. It's an
See,
early
when I was
2000s.
growing up, it was
Yeah.
like the thing was like when I was younger, you know, I went to a rich fancy school, so they were wearing Kate
Tiffany's.
Spade. Kate Spade
Yeah, we
and
had
Tiffany's were like
Yes.
the things you had. Okay,
Yes.
but David Yurman is in that family.
Right.
Yes, it
so
is.
they're
Yes.
rich enough to have all of these David Yurman things, but then they're also wearing outfits where a lot of the pieces are from like Shein, which is like an exploitative. You can afford
Yes, it is.
the real
Yeah.
thing. You
Yes.
don't need to buy the like cheap fast fashion. What are you doing?
But they're
Buy the
college
real thing.
students. They're
But
college
you
students.
ruin it so much when you chug beer, Erin.
That's true. Oh God. Okay.
It's easier to throw up on cheap clothes, you know?
It's a good point.
Learn how to do your laundry. Oh my gosh. You know what? I hope that they enjoy their college years because your 20s suck. I just got to say, even if you're pretty rich, your 20s are a time of being like,
I don't know,
how to
man.
do
You
anything.
can always resell. You can always resell that David Yurman, honey. Yeah, between checks. Also, they're
That's true.
subsidized. They're subsidized. They will be staying
They're
in new.
subsidized.
They're moving into new construction on the Lower East
Okay.
Side. Okay.
Oh God, no, thank you. I'm glad I left that town. Tien, why don't you go? I'll go last.
Okay, well, I'll do a sanity corner.
Oh, good.
Yes. So I just, in this time, I just want to encourage everyone to watch the Women's World Cup. We have a final on Sunday. Naomi's smirking at me because I'm being such a jock right now. But
No, I was like so excited because like I love the team. I was like, I'm gonna be sane, and I was like, okay, someone bring it. Someone bring hope.
No, the World Cup is so exciting. It really, if you haven't watched it yet, you have one more chance to not be a gender traitor. And and it is the largest, most exciting World Cup that there's ever been. It has the most teams. It has like the best views. It's breaking all the records. And I don't know who the final team is because I'm in the middle of watching the game, but I think it's going to be two of the best teams from the tournament. And it's just a delight. It's like these women that are at the top of their game, playing their hearts out for their country. Yes, nationalism. This is the only time I'm okay with it. So, like, truly, this is the only time that it feels okay to root for a flag. But it's in a really exciting time, and I think if you haven't watched it yet, check it out on Sunday. It's the championship game, and I hope you enjoy it because it's going to be great. It's at 3 a.m., but you can record it and watch it
6
later.
a.m. if you're on the East Coast, though. So
Yeah,
that's
6 a.m. if you're on the
slightly
East
more
Coast.
humane.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just also there are more out players in the World Cup than there has ever been, which is also really cool. So if you're a true ally, you would be watching too. So these are just I'm just trying to shame you into it. I think that's how you create fans, right?
David Brooks is so mad about people being mean or not moral. He should be watching the World Cup. Otherwise, hypocrite. Okay,
Exactly.
so mine is like a little bit of a I feel petty. It is a story that is objectively a sad story. I don't want to minimize the sadness and the frustration of the story itself. And that's the story that this week, the subject of the film, The Blind Side, alleges that his adopted family actually didn't really adopt him. They made him sign a conservatorship and made millions of dollars off of his story. And he saw very little of that, which is an objectively awful, sad, like if those allegations are true, like what a terrible group of people to just take advantage of this like gifted athlete just as he was starting to show signs that he was going to probably be a gifted athlete. But here's what I do want to say about The Blind Side. I knew that movie was shitty. I knew it when it came out. And people were talking about how like good it was. Like no shade to Sandra Bullock. She did what she did. She has nothing to do with the actual backstory. But the movie itself, I was like, this is stupid. This is a movie for the world's David Brookses to go in and be like, see, people are good without like applying any scrutiny to the story, without applying any what is this story saying? Who is profiting from this story? Is this story real? And I think that it's part of a reckoning for kind of treacly movies of this era, which include like Crash, where we look back and we're like, that movie actually sucked. And I think that it's nice to feel vindicated where like at the time I was like, a lot of people, it wasn't just me, it was a lot of people were like, this movie seems like, it's telling a story that maybe
exploitative.
Yeah, I don't know about this movie. It feels good to see that there's like kind of a reckoning taking place in these like feel good movies that really all they do is like not, first of all, they don't tell the whole truth. Second of all, they tell a truth that is like something that white people want to hear so that they feel better about the way the world is. And then it kind of gives them like, inoculates them against other bad things because this good thing exists, Anyway, so this story is super sad. I hope that Michael Oher, who is the subject of The Blind Side, is able to get the money that is owed to him because, and I hope that the family that profited off of this, if his allegations are true, really has to pay out the nose because that is super fucked up. Super fucked up.
Totally.